Okay, once we've collected data, we need to organise it. Once we've organised it, we can then look at the data and analyse it if you like. So in this worked example, there's a suburb of 350 houses, and 20 houses were surveyed to find out the number of children in each household. The data were collected, and this is where it's recorded. So the easiest thing to do is for us to then put this data into a frequency distribution table. I've drawn the table down here. So the number of children per household. I can see from this data up here that the least amount of children in any household was 0 and the most amount was 5. Hence I've gone from 0 to 5 on my table. What I then do is I'll tally off. So 20 houses were surveyed. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4 had 0 children. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 had 1 child. You notice I'm crossing off so that I know that I've counted it, and I can see if I get any at the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 had 2 children. 3 had 3 children. Doesn't look like any had 4 children, and it looks like 1 had 5 children. What I always do is I total up this frequency column. So 4 plus 5 is 9, 9 plus 7 is 16. Ooh, what have I done? 4 plus... Sorry, that should have been a 1 there. Only 1 had 5 children. So let's go back. 4 plus 5 is 9. 9 plus 7 is 16. 16 plus 3 is 19. 19 plus 1 is 20. I haven't forgotten any because my total is 20, and it said here that the sample was 20 houses. Really handy to do, because if you forget a bit of data, it does change everything that we're going to learn afterwards if the data's not included in our table. So we have just organised it into a table. Let us comment on this distribution. It appears that this value here of 5, the one family that have 5 children, we call this like an outlier. Sorry, my pen's not working. An outlier. What that means, it's probably not a recording error, but it's not really typical of the number of children per household, because most households seem to have 1 to 2 children. So this is kind of like, if you like, an extreme value, and we call those outliers. So I've just commented on the distribution. There appears to be one outlier because most families seem to have 1 or 2. So what would you say about the number of children per household in the suburb? The sample is, it's a reasonable 20 out of 300, so it's an appropriate size, and it would probably reflect the characteristics of this population. So it'd be reasonably safe to say that most houses in the suburb had 1 to 2 children. So we've commented, we've made a few comments. It was easier for us to comment once we had that information in a table. It was much easier to see how the data looked. So that's how we do a frequency distribution table.